Well, and you would go to church too. Like the people that didn't go to church all year long, that was your insurance policy. If you go, that was the most important day of the year. God would see that one if he saw nothing
Well,
else.
see, that's where we were all sucked into, like with the church. You got to be there for every, for the readings of the cross,
The Stations of the Cross.
Stations of the Cross, and it was done, I think, I don't know, every Wednesday or Thursday during Lent. And if you miss one, it's like you've never been. But if you've gone to all of them, at least one time in your life, you're saved.
You saved?
You're going straight up. Take that express elevator up there.
Jeez, everything's just make sure you get that last confession in there.
Yeah. So I made sure that those were the days I did not miss school.
Gdayall, and welcome to episode 27. Today is Good Friday Eve, which would be Holy Thursday.
Well, for those who are religious people.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, Eve. So that would be Wednesday, which is no holiness in that one, is there? You got Wednesday.
Yeah.
You got Holy Thursday, Good Friday.
But don't you have Stations of the Cross the whole week?
We didn't. You must be more Catholic than me.
Well, because we were told that we have to go to them, by the nuns.
I'll get to that because they made us do it.
Yes.
And well, speaking of welcoming people, here's Phil.
Hello, I'm here. Yes. And it's Easter already. It wasn't just Christmas like last week. Well,
it's weird because last year sort of didn't count for anything.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden this one's running as fast as it can.
Mm-hmm. Hopping.
Oh, very good.
I think with the program. Yes.
So I'm doing a little bit of research because I've always noticed that Easter is very much different here, much like St. Patrick's Day, than it is at home. It's a different feel to it. It is a different season, so that's part of it. Mm. But there's a real German influence in the U.S. for Easter.
Really?
Yep. So immigrants hit it again. So
I pictured the Germans, because living in Italian, we didn't have any Germans. We had Jewish people, but no Germans. Maybe that was the reason.
Well, Easter is sort of coincides with Passover. So they have a lot of those.
Yeah, it's always in the same
traditions
within the same 2 weeks.
Well, they are to blame for several things that we have to do as parents to get our kids ready for Easter. So we'll go through that. Today's topics, we're going to talk about the bunny, Easter eggs, Easter baskets, which is really not done here, church and Easter clothes.
That's not done here neither.
No. Yeah, first time I went.
That's not done anywhere no more.
No, it's a little bit sad. Easter candy, there's quite a difference between the two countries. Yeah. Easter meals and traditions, which I'm sure will have differences. Mm-hmm. And Easter TV and movie specials.
Okay. So let's start with fun fact. How do we go fun fact number 3? Whatever the number 1 and 2. Anyway.
So producer.
70% of Easter candy purchased is chocolate. How surprising is that? I just think it would be 90%.
Well, but then we like jelly beans and stuff. This is, it's not all chocolate. The Australians are nuts for chocolate at Easter.
Mm-hmm. It's almost like cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Yeah.
That's right.
It's another chocolate.
And fun fact number 2. Actually, that one's correct, number 2, because we're going backwards. 600 million Peeps are consumed over Easter in the U.S.
So today, people eat them. So when you eat a Peep, you eat from the head down or the feet up?
Well, chocolate bunnies, I go ears first. Yeah. Peeps, I rip its head off first.
I remember with the chocolate bunnies, what we used to do is, because you used to get so much chocolate. And it was like the long weekend. I always end up spending at my cousin's house. And then we used to melt the chocolate down in a pot and make chocolate milk out of it.
Oh, yes. I have made Easter egg hot chocolate before, but...
Now melting! Okay. And eat the Easter joke from Brendan, our producer.
Yes, which, he doesn't realize that this is an audio sort of medium.
But you got a picture in your mind. 2 chocolate rabbits talking.
Yes.
One has a
tail
missing with a big mouth, and the other one has his ears missing. So one says to the other, "My bum hurts," and the other one says,
"What?" These are the things that make him laugh. Yes. I hope it made you laugh a little bit.
Okay. And tell them about that big reminder coming up.
On the 10th of April.
Remember, the 10th of April.
That's right. We still don't have the time just yet, but the 10th of April, at some point, we're going to do an in-store podcast recording.
Whoa.
Yes.
There's a first.
It is. Yep. A little bit nervous. And bonus, there'll be food.
Yeah.
So Richie is going to have some samples. Richie from Cal Style Salsa, Cal Mex.
Yeah.
And it's really lovely fresh salsa.
And he makes great burritos, which are full of meat. It's like a meal when you eat one. I'm not just saying it because we sell it, but it's not I wish there was meat in it.
It's all meat.
It's all meat. Yeah.
Chunky, slow-cooked meat.
Real chunky. And maybe he'll finally bring in those tamales, but I doubt it.
Oh, Richie, come on. Just a couple for us.
Okay, so we'll take our first little break. Get another sip of coffee. See you in a minute. Okay, here we go. Talking about the Easter Bunny.
Hopping down the bunny trail.
Yep, the first story, the Easter Bunny, later named first story, the Rabbit, the Wabbit.
The Wabbit?
The Wabbit. Later named the Easter Bunny, hiding eggs in a garden, was published in 1680.
They've been around forever. That seems to be the worldwide tradition.
Yeah, everybody's hiding the eggs.
Well, yes, hiding chocolate eggs here and hiding hard-boiled eggs at home, but we'll get that too. I said that like Archie Bunker. Hard-boiled eggs.
Hard-boiled eggs. But according to some, I don't know who those people are, but according to some of them,
they're full of a lot of information.
Yeah, the legend of the Easter laying hare. Bunny. Oysterhuis. That's the guy's name?
Osterhaus.
Came over with German immigrants in the 1700s. The legend hasn't changed much since then. Children still hunt for colored Easter eggs and anticipate baskets full of chocolates and little toys left on the doorstep on Easter morning.
That's right. Now, my dad used to take it one step further. He used to build a nest in the backyard.
Yeah, I see that. Building we didn't have a backyard to build a nest. First, it was concrete.
So we did have a backyard, and he would get it must have been hay.
Yeah.
And he'd make like a big nest. So he goes, look, the Easter Bunny was here.
Oh.
He was so cute.
Did you look for Easter poo around there?
Knowing my dad, he probably put some like whoppers around there or something. I can't remember that bit, but I remember running all over the yard. And being an only child, I won the Easter egg hunt every year.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's pretty easy.
And it's sort of like Santa, where you go and get pictures taken, or you can, with the Easter Bunny, although they're frightening. Some of the old ones, you need to I think there's actually an Instagram page
because they never made the Easter Bunny look as nice and sociable as Bugs Bunny.
No, but he looked like a serial killer. It looked like he had Jason's hockey mask on with some ears on it.
Probably the guy behind the mask was.
So if you want some entertainment, there's all over the internet. Look up bad or scary Easter Bunny photos.
Yeah, another Hallmark moment, right?
That's right. There's one of my friends, Zana and I, when we were 13, we decided that we're really cool and sat on the Easter Bunny's knee and have our photo together. I put that
he enjoyed that, I bet, huh? What is that, Jack Rabbit? Yeah.
Mike, Phil.
Okay. So did you ever send Easter cards?
Yeah. I haven't since I came here because it's sort of not a thing here.
Yeah.
But Mom would take like great care in picking out cards, and I'd get some from my aunts that lived in like my Aunt Blynn and my Aunt Agnes. Yeah. And my grandma would give them to me. It was sort of not Christmassy because you didn't get presents, but you got your candy, and then relatives that live far away were thinking of you, so you used to get those cards.
I know Mary Jane always sends us Easter cards. Well, she sends everything, and then I told you before, right? Like, so she'll do the envelope, and she lives in Port St. Lucie, Florida.
Yeah,
and I think she looks for every stamp in the house. I think I better put on more because just in case it doesn't have enough stamps on it, I don't want to go to the post office.
That is
so you have just sweet. Enough for the address.
Just in a little window right there.
We love you, Mary Jane.
And now Easter eggs is quite different. So I think Greek Easter here, they do the hard-boiled eggs and dye them red, which is close to what we do. So we do hard-boiled eggs that we let the bunny hide for us. And that actually ended up being like a Ukrainian tradition that came over as well. Now, dye kits used to be impossible. My mom used to mail me a dye kit
Right,
every
because you
year.
can't find them. First of all, the eggs here are brown.
That's right.
So,
that's right. I found an egg farm where I can get white ones, so I kind of hook up Jeanette when I can, and I'll get a tray. So the dyes don't look correct, and I used to put them in the fridge. Kids do it. You're covered with your newspaper is covered with dye.
I remember doing that.
Smelling the vinegar that sets it, and it's just like a beautiful tradition because it's sort of less greedy because you're not trying to eat all the eggs. You're not eating chocolate eggs.
And then for the next week after that, you have egg salad all week.
Exactly right. And you have to make sure, as I found out from my grandmother, she did an Easter egg hunt for me in her apartment. Right. And we missed one egg behind a chair.
Oh, so you sat on it?
No, it was on the ground. And it sort of was like a gas bomb. I don't know how long later it was. But we count how many eggs that we put out.
Okay, and make sure they come back.
So we make sure that we know how many are coming back. We're here, people do some Easter egg hunts, but it's mostly little chocolate eggs around everywhere.
It's expats that the only ones that do it here.
Well, yes, I think I've tried to pass on the tradition to a few friends, and they can do that. And you can dye Easter eggs with onion peels, beetroot. I know you like beetroot. Yeah, beetroot, yeah. All sorts of different flowers and petals. How about
Kool-Aid?
Yes, you can do Kool-Aid, absolutely.
Oh, there you go.
And you can do sort of melt crayons and put that through the water as well.
Well, if you want light brown, medium brown, or black, you could go the just for men, and that probably would dye them too.
The hair dye, yes, I'm sure you could do that. I don't know if that'd be good for you eating it later. That's right. And Easter egg hunts are or Easter egg rolls, which is, I think Brendan and I were talking, it's more like an egg and spoon race, except no spoon, because you kind of roll it down a hill. So
never did that. Never.
No, I never did that. We just hunted.
Yeah, in the Bronx, you don't do anything like that.
Well, do you have any hills to roll them down?
Yeah, we got hills. We got pretty big hills in the Bronx.
But are they streets with the cars all run over your eggs?
Yeah, that's probably one of the problems.
So the White House has been having an Easter egg roll since 1878.
Our 45th president?
Yes, Rutherford.
Rutherford. No, that can't be 45th.
No, that was not 45th.
Where did you get that from? 45. That was Trump. He didn't start it.
He didn't start it. Although I'm sure he'll say he did.
Yeah.
It was the best Easter egg roll
that
right.
Ever was. We loved the eggs. We loved. I love the eggs.
I love the eggs. They were the best eggs. They were the brightest eggs. They rolled the fastest. But evidently, Rutherford was.
Let's make eggs great again. Yeah.
Rutherford was walking around the streets, I suppose, before the Secret Service or something.
Was he from Jersey, Rutherford, New Jersey?
I don't know.
Oh, we'll have to look that up.
He was the 19th president. We've been corrected.
19th.
Thank you for that.
Makes more sense.
That's right. It's been a long time since we had to memorize the presidents and the orders.
So in Chinatown, did they do the egg roll also?
No, Phil. Oh. No, they did not do that.
Just checking.
We used to do a thing that was you'd hollow out the eggs. Yeah. You'd fill them with confetti. And you glue a little bit of paper towel over where you hollowed it out, and then you cracked them over each other's heads.
Oh, well, why
I don't
just
know
crack them over
from.
Anyway?
Well, it was
without doing that.
Well, it was fun.
It'd be more fun.
Well, someone thought it was an egg. Yeah. So
then people do that with Jell-O too. Like you put a little hole in it, get all the egg stuff out of it, and then rinse it and put Jell-O in it.
I've never seen that. I've never
Somewhere
heard of
that comes to mind.
I don't know what creepy thing you would do. Oh, you know what I've done? Chocolate Easter egg with a shot of Bailey's in it.
Ooh.
Now that I highly recommend. Yeah. And Easter baskets. So, did you get one big Easter basket? Or did your family do it?
one. Every kid got one Easter basket. I think the parents took care of that, and then my aunts and all that would throw other stuff into it. And then you walk home with Easter egg. A little wishy, but especially in the Bronx. Oh, you like your basket, huh?
Oh, God. Yeah. Luckily, mine were just...
Give me a punk, give me a chocolate. Yeah.
It's like Halloween. You had to fight for it. We had, I used to get one, kind of big Easter basket, And I knew it was special if they had cellophane over the top because they bought everything in it.
Yeah.
And I used to get West Coast, so See's candy was big. So they had the most beautiful little See's filled eggs, and then you'd have a toy maybe. Although luckily my family, candy was important.
Animal.
Yeah, little stuffed animal, little bunny.
Yeah. But when you had your Easter rabbits that you're eating, you had like the good tasting ones and
the crap ones.
Oh,
home brand ones, ouch. And I didn't even have anyone to trade with. I just had my regular one. But I think here where people will get an Easter egg, chocolate Easter egg the size of a football, and a whole bunch of chocolate. There's way more candy I think it's consumed here on the day.
Well, they just like chocolates here.
They do.
Yeah, the Australians are chocolatites.
It's the one holiday which I think is bigger here.
For Easter, instead of the Israelites, we have the chocolate lights.
This is becoming very biblical. Way. And now the other tradition that I miss and was lovely was Easter clothes. Yes. Your new Easter outfit for church.
Yep.
So,
but I don't think that even happens in America anymore. It is all gone.
I think it depends.
It was our generation.
No, there's still some around. Yeah. I found out where it started from because in medieval times at Easter,
it's a renewal.
Yeah, it was good luck. You had to have new, like something, even if it was a new ribbon.
Yes.
And, I was telling.
It's a rebirth, sort of.
That's right. So I was telling you yesterday, I remember having this sort of white dress. It almost looked like a First Communion dress. And I had a hat and I had white bobby socks with lace around the edge and white Mary Jane's patent leather.
I think I have a photo of that with all of my cousins.
Yeah.
And Susan and Marie are dressed just about the same way. So I'll have to look for that. I think I have it, and I'll send it to you so you could put it on.
Well, it's funny because if I went to my grandma's house, my other grandmother's house, my cousin Stevie and I would play, and I'd end up, that whole outfit would be.
And I know that my other cousin Marie, not Marie. We have a Marie and Marie.
Right. Yes.
So Marie. She has a picture of her mom all dressed out up on the roof.
Oh, that'd be lovely.
St. John, because you don't have to use a flasher outside, right? And all dressed up to the nines for Easter.
Well, and you would go to church too. Like the people that didn't go to church all year long, that was your insurance policy. If you go, that was the most important day of the year. God would see that one if he saw nothing.
Well,
else.
See, that's where we were all sucked into. Like with the church, you got to be there for every, for the readings of the cross. The
Stations of the
Stations
Cross.
of the Cross, and it was done. I think every Wednesday or Thursday during Lent. And if you miss one, it's like you've never been. But if you've gone to all of them at least one time in your life, you're saved.
You saved?
You're going straight up. Take that express elevator up there.
Jeez, everything's just make sure you get that last confession in there.
Yeah. So I made sure that those were the days I did not miss school. Got to get up
well,
there
yeah,
somehow.
School made us do it because I don't think my kids ever did Stations of the Cross in all the years of Catholic school. And we
should get a refund for that.
I should get a percentage. On Good Friday, we'd go to school and we'd do Stations of the Cross.
Just on one day.
And then we
did it every day
No, I think we did do it once a week.
Yeah, we did it once a week during Lent.
But they just hauled us all over, and my grandmother used to go.
We didn't have no Easter songs to sing, but like Christmas. You remember Christmas in Catholic school? Like once a week, you're already down in the the church basement or somewhere, and all the kids are singing Easter songs,
Christmas
songs, the Christmas songs, and the nuns were happy at the time. That was the only time they were happy.
A little bit of joy in their lives.
Yeah, just a little bit.
And we were all probably behaving at the same time, so they didn't have to hurt us.
Yeah. And then, I was just reading your notes here about the Easter bonnet.
Yes.
With all the things upon it, whatever.
That's right.
The only bonnet I knew when growing up was blue bonnet. Everything's better with blue bonnet on it.
That's the margarine, isn't it? Yes, that's right. Blue bonnet. Oh, I can see her little blonde face. That's right. Well, you've been seeing Easter parades.
Yeah.
Because New York has an Easter parade. Mm-hmm. Tell us a bit about that.
On the avenue, Fifth Avenue. That's where it was, on Fifth Avenue. So I never went to one. That was all for the flirty dirties. But
Yeah, it was the rich people showing off. It's
Yes,
how it started.
Yes, and they just came out of St. Patrick's Cathedral, and that started. It went coming out of church, and I think eventually they just closed the road up. But probably now that probably doesn't happen anymore.
Well, this year, I'd say.
Yeah. But that was a big tradition, going showing off all your new wares and new stuff. And I remember as a kid, we always had to have a new suit or something.
Did you have a little bow tie?
Yeah, a little bow or a tie. All got all dressed up for Christmas, new shoes. Everything was new, like we were talking about. And I remember, my father used to take us down to Lower Manhattan, down near Gdayall Street, to all the Jewish tailors. So the Jewish people made out on Easter too. So because that's where we went to get our suits, And of course, my father worked all the time, and at the time was the blue laws.
Yeah.
Meaning that you can't open Sundays.
Right.
Except if you're Jewish.
Oh,
so we did a lot of shopping down Canal Street. Really? So that was a common thing for all the Italians to do, is to go, let's go see Mo, and he's,
Get your little suit together and everything else you needed.
Yeah. So we went down there, we got our suits and got pickles, and it's true. My father's friend from the service, Mo, he opened up on one of these little corner shops there, pickles in a barrel. And every time we went down there, we went to go see Mo.
That is such a wonderful New York story.
It is. It was just the time, and you got all these big Buicks and everything, that we had.
It must have been so cool to grow up in a city, because I'm just
You're a country girl.
Cowtown.
Hey, God, I'm a country girl.
I always just thought that would be so amazing. Something was always happening. Something always going on.
Yeah, somebody's always getting murdered.
Okay, now we had a little bit of that too ourselves. Because, where do you hide the bodies? Out in the country.
Yes. Yep. Since your father was a cop, he knew where they were.
He knew where they were. That's right. Now, to get on to, let's bring it back in to the important part of Easter, candy.
Candy is any.
And our candy, as we've sort of touched on, is a bit different. But after Halloween, Easter is the biggest candy consuming holiday of the year.
Yes. It just gives another excuse, like for St. Patty's Day, it's another excuse for drinking. Easter is another excuse for eating chocolate.
That's exactly right. And now, do you know why the bunnies are hollow?
Because they're cheap ones. No.
Or the Easter eggs. A lot of them were hollow because if you get the big ones and it was solid chocolate, you break your teeth off.
Yeah, you can't break it. Smash it first.
And then we have Peeps. They make over 1 billion Peeps a year.
That's a lot of Peeps.
Factories.
Yep.
And
it's just, I think the name of the company that makes it, I might be mistaken, it's just Born. It's like
I think you're right. Yes.
Yeah, it's just like a religious country. I'm serious. I think it's owned by the
probably
Seventh-day Evangelist or something. Just Born Adventist.
Yes, that's right. Now with the Peeps, they're sort of a marshmallow. For those who don't know, they started out as a little marshmallow chick shaped.
Yellow.
That they did with like a piping bag. And it used to take something like hours to make them. And then they've made a new machine that brought it down to so they can make 1 billion a year.
Yeah.
And then they moved on to, they had bunnies with different colors. And then they had, let's do some for Halloween. So they had little ghosts and pumpkins, and then they've got Christmas, and now they're covering all the seasons.
Yeah, and different flavors too.
Like we had sour watermelon, party cake.
We had the for Christmas we had the
gingerbread men.
Yeah, gingerbread men would taste like gingerbread.
And so they have worked out their market.
And now we got hot
tamale
tamales
flavored. So cinnamon peas.
Yeah, so these are give it to the little kids that you don't like. Yeah, here's a red one for you. I like red.
Ooh, I love that. Do you know, I saw that you can make pizzas with Peeps. People are making pizzas with Peeps.
When they just melt?
Yeah, but it's like a Nutella pizza. It's like the dessert pizza.
God. No. Keep your pineapple and Peeps off my pizza, okay?
Or you can make, like, I've seen someone else make, like, Rice Krispie treats with chopped up Peeps. But I don't know who has leftover Peeps because, like, I eat them.
Well, I could just see making a Rice Krispie treat, and then and then you get the little head, and you put that in, and it's looking like it's coming out of its little burrow.
Or that Tony Soprano got a hold of it.
Or you do the thing like from with the movie where they came with the with cutting the heads off all the time. One of those typical movies. Yeah, no. The guy was like buried into the dirt, and there's just his head hanging out, and he comes around this little thing that just turns around and little blades on it. Just...
This is supposed to be a happy, joyous kitty sort of show, and we've gone to decapitation. Yeah. I was reading with candy corn how you kind of associate it with Halloween. It was a year-round candy, penny candy, that used to have different colors. So at Easter, it had like purple and pink and things. I saw that. I was like, interesting. That makes sense because it's a cheap candy to make, I'm thinking.
Yep. And all those colors don't taste any different on it.
That's exactly right. Doesn't matter how much you want to eat the little chip that won't work. And chocolate filled eggs. So C's had, so it's almost like a big like what you get out of the box of candy. So it's like a fudgy center or nougat center.
Like a nougat, yeah.
Yeah, those are my favorite eggs. And they used to have like frosting on the outside and little flowers and little decorations. And I had a way I'd eat the frosting first.
Oh yeah, you always had a procedure.
I had a procedure, so I made it last longer. So I ate the outside, then the flowers, then I picked the chocolate off it. But it lasted longer that way.
And then panorama eggs.
The ones, the sugar eggs that they have inside it, they have a whole picture, like they have a whole vignette. So,
no.
I used to get one of those every year.
So
and
deprived, I was.
I'm sorry. And you're really not supposed to eat them because the chocolate, the sugar walls are about half an inch thick.
Yeah.
Like you put it out to decorate it. And I would try to break my teeth off in it and little things. So it was a white egg and you looked inside and it had like a little bunny and a little thing and you could eat everything, which I usually did.
Hey, marshmallow. I like marshmallow eggs.
I do too.
The chocolate covered ones you're talking about, right?
Yes. Yeah. That's like...
Because especially if it had a real nice soft marshmallow in the middle.
Yes. I always...
The type that if you press too hard, it just goes right through the chocolate and into the marshmallow. Right?
That's right. And it's been like... And sometimes you get them and they have like a yellow center too. And, the panned eggs, so the candy coating, so when they roll it in the hard shell.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, like the almonds.
Yeah, so it's almost like M&Ms. We used to get those as well, and the jelly bird eggs, which are imagine
nothing but jelly beans, right?
It's a jelly bean, but on the outside of it, so imagine the sticky bit in the center of the jelly bean. They've got these little circles like hard candy, like what do they call them? Pastels, and they were crunchy. So it was like white and pink or white and yellow and white and green. And
you didn't put down Jeanette's favorite.
What?
Speckled eggs.
Oh.
With the malted centers.
Oh, those are so good.
Yeah, that's our favorite.
Those are really yummy. We got those a few years ago, didn't we? Yeah. They were beautiful.
She found some in the store just recently, so of course she bought them.
Well, good. She should. That's it's once a year treat. And then all the major companies, so Reese's, Hershey's, etc.
Yep, all do it.
Now they all have their own Easter candy.
Yeah.
Well, I think it used to be
because of the big market.
Yeah, and I think the local candy shop is not. It's not a thing anymore. Like you don't go into
C's or
you just
or Russell Stover's.
That's right. You go to the grocery.
I mean, they still have it, but
it's more of a quick treat.
Yeah, like those ones like C's and Russell Stover. You're buying those for your sweetheart.
Yeah.
Right. The other ones, the kids don't deserve that. That's too much money. That's like my friend Johnny. Johnny would say that. Oh, no. We can't go there. I got my son here with me. I ain't spending that money on him. Dad, don't you love me? No.
That's like when I say I'll buy some stuff from work. It's like they didn't grow up with it. They don't deserve it. They don't appreciate it. I'll have my Tide.
Yes, exactly. They don't appreciate it. You ain't getting it. Yeah.
And then Cadbury was my introduction to Cadbury.
Would have been here, right?
No, it was the Cadbury egg.
In America.
In America when I was in school. And Zaina was addicted. She introduced me to them. And I remember we're at the old Woolworths like counter. Like I had a lunch counter in it in our hometown. And she's like, and she taught me like we'd eat the fondant out of the middle, and then we'd eat the chocolate.
And now it looked like a yolk inside.
It did. Yeah. It looked like it was runnier than what it was now. Still to this day, like when I last saw Zaina, she's left us now, but I had brought her they had Cadbury chocolate bars. So so you broke them up and they had like little miniature Cadbury eggs in the bar. And I think I brought her about 10 of those, and we managed to get through a few.
So now we go on to, we talked a little bit about it, but go on, church and Easter clothes.
Yeah. Oh, and meals. No, well, meals and traditions.
Wait, did I skip one?
You did. You went backwards.
I went backwards. Oh, we did that. That's why I said we talked about that before.
Obviously not enough if you're not right.
All right, meals and tradition. Yeah.
But usually you have your nice clothes and you have your meal after church. So
right,
it's still...
and then you got all that stuff all over your nice clothes. Maybe you tried not to. But, just go right back to the clothes and talk about little memories.
Yeah.
Right? I remember driving with my father absolutely crazy, especially in the 60s, child of the 60s. And because I wanted a suit that looked like the Beatles. Okay, and of course you can't buy that, and down at Mo Cohen's, but like it didn't have a collar; it just had the outline thing on it.
Yes.
Yeah, and I wanted that. I want the Beatle boots, and just drove me totally crazy, and never worked out.
I'm sorry. Did you ever get a jacket like that?
Nope.
Oh,
no.
It's not too late.
Did get the Beatle boots?
Okay, well that's fair enough.
You have to have those to go to school. It'd be cool.
What are they? Describe them.
So they were a quarter boot, so not it had the Spanish, what we call the Spanish heel. Okay, so it was tapered down and about the old school 1.5 to 2 inches high, and it had to have the seam straight down the middle, so like was just 2 pieces of leather and sewn down the middle. So seam was down the middle of the shoe and a zipper on the side.
Oh, very nice.
It was about a 6-inch boot. It wasn't a very high boot, and we're quite comfortable.
Well, it would look nice too.
I got a pair of, not the original ones, but I found, and this is going back before I moved here, and it's still up in my closet. I found a pair of basically shoes that imitated them.
Yeah.
And it's still up in my closet. So maybe if I get to a 60s party, that if anybody ever wants to invite me, I could wear those boots again.
And I think you should lash out for a jacket.
Yeah, I'll think I'll wear them next time here. So
I want to see the Beatle boots.
Yeah,
I like that.
And that was, the kids going to school with everybody. You wanted something that had to do with the Beatles. During that era.
Oh, I can imagine. Do you know my mother had 2 opportunities to see the Beatles? Once when they were booted, and once when just at the end when they were hippied out.
Wow.
And my dad, these words hurt me, didn't let her go.
Yeah, because he's a cop, and you got to get into drugs. They're smoking that funny marijuana there.
Oh, well, he was running around the Altamont, taking care of business, but just the Beatles. So she could have seen them at Candlestick.
I could have seen them at Shea Stadium. I don't know why I didn't go to that. There was like only $5 or something.
Well, how many times have you seen the Stones, though? So look. Yeah. Okay.
Just about every century since 1969. So 69 was my first concert. I saw him every decade since then.
Swings and roundabouts. Yeah. You can't have it all.
I haven't seen him in the 2020s yet, but this 1 year's out already.
Well,
that's a long time in Rolling Stones history now.
That's right. Well, Mick's trained up after his heart surgery, and he's got that new baby.
He's ready to
go.
About
a 2-year-old. That'll keep him busy. Or dead. I don't know. Right. So meals and traditions. So now my family, the tradition on our side is ham. Mom gets a spiral ham. And so we'd have scalloped potatoes. We might have potato salad. There's always sort of a spring vegetable. I kind of carry that on here because I do a traditional Easter lunch. And so I'll get asparagus, even though it's fall here in the wrong season. But it doesn't feel right. We always have deviled eggs.
So your deviled eggs are savory?
Yes, I have savory one. I know because your family does sweet one.
Sweet deviled eggs. Oh. No, we used to call them deviled eggs, but they probably have another name.
They'd be angeled eggs if they were sweet, I reckon.
Yes, they're really good, easy to make.
So tell me again, because I want to.
You make your hard-boiled eggs, slice them in half, take the yolk out. Okay, smash the yolk up, mix it with ricotta, and then sugar, so make it sweet.
Yep.
And I think they put chocolate chips into it. Okay,
like
and then you put it back into it tastes like a cannoli almost. Yeah, except it's a little bit richer because of the egg yolk. Put it back into the white eggshell. Then you pour honey over it.
Oh my god!
So the real thing I could never understand the taste of, like the middle was really good.
Yeah.
But having the egg white with honey, it's like egg white has no taste anyway.
No, it's just a vehicle for holding
it's like
something.
I couldn't never figure that out, but I used to really enjoy those.
Oh, those would be great.
So it's really simple to make.
My mom will have to try that. She'll be right in that. We do the little bit of, so the egg yolks out, a little bit of mayo, a little bit of mustard, sweet pickle relish,
Paprika.
Paprika on top. Sometimes a little bit of spring onion or a little bit of onion for a little bit of crunch. And I love egg and olives, so I've done it with olives in it before because I love that.
It's a lot to put in a little egg.
Well, then, but the bonus is you got
it flows
the extra.
Over.
That's right. So you can make a nice sandwich out of that. And I really love that. I think it was one of my favorites because for celebrations, because it was daytime, it was spring. I'd see my cousins, we'd run around. It wasn't as heavy as Easter. Yeah. And, my dad would take me to go see his parents. And he used to take it in the police car, but it was like an undercover car. So he'd either let the siren go, as we were pulling in, or he'd use the loudspeaker. It's like, we're here.
We're here. Come on out.
And I'd run around.
The only thing I get pictures of is the Blues Brothers. We're on a mission from God. Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking I want you to go back to sort of Clint Eastwood in Dirty Harry, because Dad had that blow-dried do.
Yeah.
And he had the same suit, and the cop car was not far from it. And it was just and my grandpa used to be waiting on the front porch in his bib overalls, chambray shirt, and he might have his straw Stetson on. And he was just always so excited. And he always had a silver dollar for me. Those are like the best childhood memories
all the time.
And so when I came here, I was like, so who has Easter lunch? Yeah. It's like, well, we don't really do that because we're people going camping, or they go away. Yeah. So I keep it every year. I have just the kids and us.
Even though it's fall here in the spring in the States, but the weather-wise could be just the same on any given day.
That's exactly right, because it's those in-between seasons.
Yes.
Just the daylight's probably a little bit shorter, and that's about it for here. Yep. And so we were talking about the...
so what we eat.
Yes.
So my family, we used to have two meats, usually a ham, a roast ham, and of course you have to have the traditional spring lamb.
Yes. Brendan's sister does that. She does the spring lamb.
And I remember going up because the train stations in Brooklyn or in New York, so you had one end was on 18th Avenue, the other end was on 17th Avenue. So one whole block was the station. And going up through 17th Avenue, right before you get to the train station, was a butcher. And every Easter, they had all these little baby lambs, on the hook in the window.
It's very confronting.
Poor little kids are like,
Oh, yeah, that would be awful, because I remember, because it looks like what it is.
Yes.
It's like when you see rabbits in the store that were wrapped up. When I first moved here, you could still get rabbits in the grocery store all the time.
Right.
I was like, that looks like it's hopping.
Yeah.
I could never cook that because I can see it.
So we had the two meats, and then we have to have the traditional pasta, right? The gravy, but we didn't have pasta. So we had manicotti.
I love manicotti.
And my mother was the designated manicotti maker. And of all the things, my Aunt Connie and Francis never let my mother cook anything. No. The cooking was their domain. They would do it. It was always at their house, blah, 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 except for making the manicotti. Because my mother learned from my grandmother how to make it the proper way. And it's a crepe.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it's not a pasta. So manicotti is a crepe, and then you fill it with the ricotta and stuff, and you roll it, and you make it. It's like an enchilada when it looks like with the sauce on it. You bake it the same way.
Oh, that would be so good.
Yeah. So it is. If you go to a true Italian cookbook, you don't use pasta.
Okay, because the only kind I've had is like with a pasta shape. I think it was rolled like lasagna sheets, probably.
Yeah, that's cheating.
Okay. Your mom is probably good at that too, because crepes are a big thing here. They were in her pancakes. You might have had...
not back in the day. Then
because
over
they don't
here
do
was just meat and
pancakes here.
potatoes. Oh, pancakes. That's the other thing, pancakes, right? We have pancakes for breakfast over here. They have for dinner. It's crazy. And then they have same thing with beans, right? We talked about that.
Yeah, beans for breakfast. No, it doesn't work. That would have been quite an honor for you, Mom.
Yeah. It's a lot of work because to get it right, because it's got to be very thin,
Yeah.
I don't remember what the mixture was.
I think I'm going to have to.
Something with flour and something else.
I'm going to have to, milk, flour, and maybe an egg.
An egg, yeah. Very plain. It didn't have much taste because it just went along to wrap up the everything else.
Oh, the good stuff in the middle.
Yeah.
Well, I find that hot cross buns, the ones that I have in my area and back in California, are very different from the ones here. First of all, you don't need them the day after Christmas, which they come out here.
Right.
And when I left, you couldn't get them. You didn't get them at the grocery store, although like Podesto's probably has some and some. You had to go to a bakery to get them. And rather than, they were sort of very light, like a light color, and they would have not only the raisins and all that, they have some glacé fruit in it and peel. And
it all depends on the baker.
Yeah, and our crosses would be lemon, like a lemon gel almost.
See, I never.
So it was like a real sweet
hot cross buns until I came here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But
So,
we
probably were there, but I just never noticed them, or we never bought them.
Yeah.
I was eating the Italian pastries, and then just week that just passed was St. Joseph's. So it's the traditional Italian,
You're
saint,
right.
and of course they make a pastry after him. So anybody wants to know what the pastry looks like?
Yes.
Just Google St. Joseph Day pastry, and it's really, really good.
No, I'll have to have a look.
Mm-hmm.
I like St. Joseph. He finds stuff for me. Not St. Anthony, it's St. Joe.
Well, he better find me some pastries.
Well, maybe we could make that. I remember one year, Mom, I knew I was coming home, but I wasn't going to make it for Easter. I said, can you please just get one hot cross bun and stick it in the freezer for me? So when I go home, I can have it. She's like, it won't be good that long. I went, just trust me. I'll take it freezer burned, please.
And then the other thing that we used to have is, and the Greeks do this basically the same thing, is the bread with the colored eggs on it.
Yes, and
it's like
Portuguese.
Sweet bread. Yeah.
Portuguese sweet bread.
So that made all around that. So it made a lot of tradition for a lot of different ethnic groups.
Everyone has a sweet bread.
Yeah.
My school used to have at our festival, there was a sweet bread booth, and like all the grandmothers. So a lot of women in black, some with veils on.
Yeah, their husbands died 32 years ago.
That's right. They're still in black. And you'd go up and you'd want sweet bread. They go, no, you don't want Mrs. Pereira's sweet bread. Hang on. I'll get you Mrs. Oliveira's sweet bread. We go from there. But they always had the red egg in the middle.
What we just got from it's a broadcast. This came fresh
Greek Easter.
What is Greek Easter like in the USA? I don't know.
We've got a huge Greek population, and my hometown. To
somebody from Chicago.
Yeah, that one. I don't.
I would imagine it's much like here.
I would think so.
With traditional foods and everything.
And like we've got Stockton has a huge Greek church because Alex Spanos, who is a multimillionaire, he owned the Chargers. He always stayed in Stockton. God bless him. So he pumped money through that, and so they've got beautiful facilities. But I actually don't remember. My mom probably would, but I don't remember Greek Easter celebrations.
Yeah,
until here.
Yeah. Well, because the populations where we were, there were not many Greeks.
No, that's exactly right. But we used to have also Easter Vigil Mass. Like I remember going to that because
is that like a high mass?
Well, kind of. It's like the old. So my church was the cathedral, so they're a little bit fancier on occasion, but they would do like a passion play, just reading. And I remember I had to do it one year, and my mother thought it was really funny because one of the lines I had to read was the crowd going, "Crucify him, crucify him." She's a bit high level on that one. So they do that. So you'd have an Easter vigil, and then they would do a mass confession. So they'd be like,
everybody gets confessed at one time. You don't have to go talk to the priest in a little booth.
In your head.
Yeah.
Right. So everyone think of all the bad stuff you've done. Yep. Absolved.
Absolved. Damn.
That's right. So the 500 people in church can go straight back in with a clean soul and sin again.
Until tomorrow.
That's right. So we were all good for Easter Sunday, and but that was like such a big part of everything. Like you wouldn't go away because you'd be doing that. So that'd be how you spend your Saturday evening.
Yeah, sure. We didn't go away for Easter. Yeah, but we didn't have it wasn't a big Easter break. At least in New York, it wasn't a big Easter break.
No, because Easter vacation or the week off didn't always coincide with Easter as well.
And then we used to get off for Passover too.
Oh, you would too, because you'd have our community wasn't big enough for us to do that.
all the public schools, most of the teachers were Jewish.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I actually
that worked out.
I tried to get Good Friday off one time because I was like, but it's a religious holiday, and they went, "Nah, sorry."
But wait, when I was going to elementary, so Regina Pontius, right? So we had school when the other schools kids were off. So when they were off during Passover and the high holy days and all that, they were closed, and we still had to go to school. Yeah. You know, like, of course they rubbed it into us. Oh, you're going to school today? How was school?
That's just not nice. I know. But it's funny. Yes, Catholic school. And they would take us to. Well, we had lots of time in mass too for every high holy day. And we still had to go. Like here, you have the day, Good Friday here. For anyone that's not from Australia that has happened upon us, the whole place stops pretty much. And they used to not even put out a newspaper. And so it's actually quite lovely where you do sort of slow down and you our family gets together and has fish and chips. Usually we meet somewhere and do that. So the fish and chip shops are going nuts. Yep. So that's about what's on and not much else. Where back in the States, it's still a working day.
It was still a half day for most people. Yeah. Yeah, but it was still a working day. It wasn't wasn't as religious as it is here.
Well, I don't know if I might have started religious, but I think it's the people can get on the road.
Yeah, get early
for camping.
And they off Easter Monday, which that is not a holiday in America.
No. It's like Boxing Day is not a holiday. It's just everyone shows up a little bit tired and whatever. Now, I remember during the Easter weekend, so let's go Good Friday through, there was always the Ten Commandments on. So Charlie Heston was on my TV at some point. There was we'd have the Peter Cottontail movies, which are sort of like the Christmas ones with Rudolph. And Ben-Hur. There was nothing I wanted to watch. There was no cable at the time. And I'm like, it's another...
Ben-Hur is back on the Ten Commandments. So the politically correct, is it still going to be Ben-Hur? Is it Ben-He or just Ben? No, you can't even call Ben.
Phil, I don't know what to do with you. I do not know what to do.
We got to be with the times,
Well,
so we could cross out half of these things.
Well, yes. Well, Jesus Christ, Superstar, or Godspell. Yeah. Those are the two things. I was telling Brendan, you'd be like a 5-year-old kid going around the house singing Jesus Christ, Superstar. Or Easter Parade, that used to be on.
And we're talking about Jesus Christ Superstar. So those who are listening, it'll be on somewhere. The live broadcast was not live. It's taped now.
Yes.
I think it was done in England with John Legend.
Yes.
And Alex Cooper comes in at the end as a surprise. And a great performance. Totally outstanding. Great music, great. So if you have a good system to listen on,
do it.
Yeah, do it. Just crank it up.
I remember.
Except if you're in my house.
Get in trouble. I remember I was lucky enough to go see it when they had a production out here at the Tennis Center. And it was so good. It's just
I remember the live one that we went to go see, and I think this was pre-Jeanette, because that's how long ago it was the Lost Canadians Ballet.
Oh.
Yeah. Doing Jesus Christ Superstar.
I did not know that. Yeah. We did it, one time we did it in high school. It was the school musical. I didn't get in it because I don't sing. But I was just like, it's always interesting who they cast as the big guy too. And there's some Easter music. So we've got like the Easter bonnet song. Yeah. And then at my house, we are really big Johnny Cash fans.
Hello.
Yep. Really big. I was, proud moment in my life when my children were under the age of 4 and they knew Frank Sinatra and Johnny Cash.
And they all would have had somewhere along the line, a TV special,
variety show,
an Easter special with Danny Thomas. It's the Easter special.
Perry Como.
Perry Como. And the Osmonds. They would definitely had one.
They would have. And Mac Davis.
Mac Davis. That sinner.
Yes, and the Mormon Tabernacle Choir, because you used to hear them Christmas and Easter
as well. Think, what's his name? Moon River guy?
Perry Como?
No.
Moon River? Chevy Chase?
No, not Chevy Chase. Oh, God, he had a place down in Missouri, too, in Branson. I could picture him. Andy Williams. Andy Williams Easter Parade Show. Featuring guest stars, Doris Day.
That would be right.
Yes.
Did Bob Hope ever do one?
I'm sure.
He did.
On the road
with
the Easter Parade, yeah.
So it was just like, it's a very nostalgic.
I don't think Milton Berle did one. No, he would have did the Passover one.
No, he would have. Yeah, that's right. Yep, he would not have been a part of it.
Okay. And of course, then the last one here, the Mormon Tabernacle Choir.
That's right. They break out although you know what they're called now? Ooh. The Tabernacle Choir.
The Mormons took their name out. That has anything to do with
I don't know. I'm not asking. I'm not commenting. But I went to look it up, and it was just the Tabernacle Choir.
Okay. They just want to get a bigger audience.
Maybe that's it. I don't know. Yes. Do you like their music, though?
Okay. Well, let's take a bit of a break here, and we'll be right back. And with our secret code. Secret code. You all waiting for this?
Yes.
Peeps.
Of course.
Of course, Peeps.
Now, if you want to come in and visit us in person, we are located at 73 Cochrane's Road, Moorabbin, and our hours are Monday through Thursday, 10 to 5. Friday, we are 10 to 8, Saturday, 10 to 5, and Sunday, 11 to 5.
Yep. And if you need to get a hold of us, you could email us at podcast@usafoods.com.au.
That is correct. And we have a reminder again, so make sure you write it down this time. Don't be like me. Saturday, 10th of April is our in-store podcast recording with Richie from Cal Style Salsa.
We both better remember that.
Is it tomorrow? Oh, my God. Yes, that's often
happens. It's in 10 minutes? Oh.
Yes. Now, please, feel free if you had a little bit of a chuckle or a fond memory, just make sure you share this, or you can also give us a review if you like.
Or send us a picture of your Easter bonnet.
Oh, we would love that. I'm sure we all have old photos of us as kids, so we'll all dig them up and we can put them up. Okay, Barbara.
Yes. Have we had any communication with anybody of the outside world?
We have. So first of all, my mother. Because,
Yeah, always. Yeah.
Always.
She always talks nice about me.
She does, actually. She was concerned that, do I give you enough coffee? Do you need more snacks? So it's nice she's looking after you. And she also said she's flabbergasted with the amount of facts that she learns while she's listening to us.
So are we.
Which is nice that she appreciates my homework, finally. Yes. And yours, too.
Yeah, I never did homework at home. When I was doing homework, when I was supposed to be doing homework.
And she said, in regards to the potato chip show, even though we said Pringles weren't a chip, but they are. Brendan, it would have been one of his first visits. He came over for my high school graduation, and he must have discovered Pringles, which hadn't hit here yet.
Yeah.
And was in heaven. Mom even said, she goes, can you remember that? Because you must have bought every flavor. Yeah, there would have been about 5.
Okay, just one.
That's exactly right.
Well, that's Lay's. No. Wrong company. That's Procter & Gamble versus PepsiCo. Go ahead.
Well, and then I heard from Leslie, and this is the quote from Leslie. Your latest podcast on hot sauces was great. It was funny, entertaining, and informative. Here's the magic. I truly believe that if hot sauce was eaten every day, there would be no need for colonoscopies.
I got to tell that to my internist. Yes. I hate the prep. I could prep with Frank's in Louisiana.
Yeah. Well, that could be quicker, maybe.
It'd be more enjoyable.
And I also heard this week from Carol, our Grape Nuts lady.
Mm-hmm.
We had it in. We had it in for about 10 minutes because everyone went nuts.
Yep.
And she's got 2 boxes on their way to her, and she cannot wait.
How'd she get 2 boxes? We didn't put a limit on it.
No, well, she accidentally ordered 4 boxes, so she had to cancel an order because she ordered twice.
Yeah, I just read this week that grape nuts in America have became so scarce. People were putting them on eBay and selling them for $100 per box on the black market. I mean, imagine going down the street. Hey, you want to buy some grape nuts? Yeah.
I think my mom got the last 2 boxes at Podestos, but she's part of the problem because she's like, I only need 1 box, but I might as well buy 2.
Yes, just in case, they never make them again. Yeah.
That's exactly right. So
it's like buying a car, and it has on the back of it, like limited. Limited to Give me a break. Limited to what? The first 350,000?
Actually, we had a limited edition. I think it was an Arnold Palmer LTD, sort of at home. It was a Buick. What was it?
A Buick LeSabre?
It could be. It was huge. It was a boat.
Yeah,
and
they're all like boats.
Yeah, and it was yellow plaid interior, and it had yellow on the sides. And my mother used to say that because it was a lemon. It was the fanciest, but the worst car we ever had. So limited to that.
Yes.
And I think that's it. I think is it time for Nat Nosh?
This week, Wednesday, the 31st of March, is National Tater Day. So I guess taters and potatoes?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know if that originated in a southern area of the country. Taters?
Taters. Yeah, tater tots. Yeah, I'm going to have some taters.
Those are Scottish tatties.
Yeah, like the totos. And also National Clams on a Half Shell.
Woohoo! Yum.
Yeah, so that's like a big East Coast tradition. Yeah. Clams on a half shell because we get the nice little necks and cherry stone clams before they got polluted. But now they all have to be certified, so they are safe. Hopefully.
That's one of Jeanette's favorite things in the world, isn't it?
We go, whenever we're in New York, we have to go down to Chelsea Market. And we used to go to Chelsea Market because the lobsters there, you get like a whole lobster steamed for $20. Right?
Oh my God.
Yeah. And now, forget the lobsters, let's go over to the clam bar. And we would go through 5 or 6 dozen clams, like just shucking them down. Squeeze a little lemon on it, maybe a little Tabasco sauce or something. And it's just so good. And as a kid, we used to go to Sheepshead Bay.
Right.
Okay. And go to Randazzo's clam bar, and it would be packed, and it was like you just sit at the clam bar and these guys are just, I don't know how they open them up so fast. And it just served.
Did they have all their fingers?
Yeah, well, I don't even think they were wearing protective gloves or anything. No, but they just pop. But I think a lot of it has to do because they're kept on ice, so they're really cold. So
that'd be magnificent.
Oh God, they were just so good. You eat those and have a beer. Great memories.
Goodness.
And then also, this is a California one, Orange and Lemon Day.
Well, I don't know why it needs a day, but speaking of that, California and oranges,
Valencia.
Not so much lemons. Do you know what I love and what I do miss? And you know how when you're away for a while, you don't realize every yard has an orange tree in it, just about. At least on every block, there's a couple of houses.
It used to be like that in Orange County, California,
yes,
too.
Of course.
Now there's just houses.
And they could be like really awful oranges that you would never eat, but that's not the point. Mm-hmm. There was just, and we had a neighbor, Al, who would drop off a bag of oranges from his tree on we'd wake up and they'd be on our porch.
A lot of orange juice.
A lot of orange juice and no rickets. And tomorrow is National Sourdough Bread Day.
Now, where was your first remembrance of sourdough?
San Francisco.
Yes.
Yeah,
San Francisco.
Absolutely.
I remember going there, and then we came back with a little sourdough starter kit or something to make sourdough bread when we went back to Jersey.
Oh, that's so good. And then when you go to restaurants in San Francisco, you have the sourdough bread on the table with the butter, and then you go buy it. And anytime, like I know I've bought a loaf of sourdough at the airport, like when Mom picks me up, so I know she has it. So yes.
Yeah, and the sourdough that you get here, it could be really good or really bad.
Yeah.
Most of the supermarket ones are pretty average, but if you go to some of the good bakeries like Matisse, the sourdough is exceptional.
And there's a place called Rustic in Mordialloc, started in the same complex that Aldi's. Yeah. They do a fantastic sourdough.
So if you like sourdough and you think you get good stuff at the big supermarkets, go to a local bakery that specializes it. You'll say, why am I eating this other stuff for? It's the truth.
It's beautiful. And then Friday, National
PB&J Day.
Oh, and guess what? Our next show is about.
Wait a minute. I thought it was about me and Jeanette. PB, Phil Bertino, and Jeanette. No?
So true.
You should have a whole show about me.
Yeah. Okay, we'll get Jeanette in here.
Yep.
And then
do a whole show
we'll give her turn because you seem to give her a few little digs here and there so Jeanette can open up. I love it. Phil came into work one day years ago and went, did you know it's peanut butter and jelly day? And I went, I did not. So he bought some bread and we made peanut butter and jelly sandwiches that we passed out to customers. But then we also managed to.
And we're going to talk next week. We're not going to tell you now, but we got a surprise recipe with peanut butter and jelly.
Oh, yes.
Oh, it'll make Elvis want to come back. He's left the building, but he's going to want to come back for this one. He's going to come back
for that one. So, yes, we will talk about that. It is an American classic. And do you know the best thing is? Your child can be 4 years old and you can make your own PB&J.
Yes. Go make your own lunch. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. And it's also found out that with peanut butter now that it's you should give it to kids as young as possible. So this way they don't have any allergies.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing the research that's been done into peanut butter allergies because I didn't know anyone with the peanut butter allergies.
I didn't know anybody with any allergies at all because we were forced to eat everything, It wasn't like, I don't like that. No, now it's like you eat it or you ain't getting anything else or go to bed.
I was a bit like that at my house. I was like, I didn't quite do the Joan Crawford where I gave it for you breakfast the next day, but that was it.
So no clothes hangers?
No wire hangers ever.
And April the 3rd, Saturday, is Chocolate Mousse Day.
Oh, it's a good day.
Oh, that's a good day. True. I love a good mousse.
Oh, I do too. I like it with like really rich dark chocolate and cream. I saw a recipe where they make it with water, and I don't understand that. It makes me sad. Like, no joke. There is a recipe where you make it with water.
Did you throw it away?
I didn't try it because no. Yeah. And on to Sunday, April 4th, National Burrito Day.
The only good thing about a burrito, a better thing that you could do with a burrito, is make a chimichanga out of it.
That's right. Deep fry that sucker.
Yes.
And we've got National Carrot Day.
Okay.
Well, hey, yes.
Oh, the good things come out of carrots.
Carrot cake?
Carrot cake. And the carrot salad. I never found how to make the carrot salad that used to go at the salad bars in Vegas.
Oh, I can make carrot salad.
You know how to make that? The one that, I think that's some raisins or something.
Yeah. Because, we made that in kindergarten.
Really?
Like we did cooking. So it was raisins and shredded
a West
carrot.
Coast thing, yeah.
I'll find a recipe for you.
Okay. And then also on the same day, we got two more. Cordon Bleu.
Cordon Bleu Day?
Yeah.
So is that actually, are they celebrating the institution or the chicken dish?
What institution?
Well, the Cordon Bleu is the cooking school in France. So that's where Julia Child went. When they didn't want her to take the professional lessons, they said, take the housewifey lessons. And she went, au contraire, mon frère. And then she did it. Or the Cordon Bleu, where you get the chicken and the ham and the Swiss cheese, I think.
Yeah, I think it's probably more of...
Probably that one. Could that be our version of the Parma?
Yes.
I think it probably is.
Yeah. Well, I guess everybody has their own version of the Parma.
That is true.
Yeah.
Oh.
And National Ramen Noodle Day.
Yeah.
That keeps a lot of people alive.
That's right. It is the university students' main way of sustenance.
And whether they eat it fresh or cooked or raw. Right? Because they eat it raw as a crunchy snack.
Yeah, they actually sell that now, and it's like that's just crunchy too. That's just 2-minute noodles not cooked.
Yeah.
Yes, ramen. That used to be an after-school snack. You can actually Master Chef this year. They had a packet of 2-minute noodles, and they had to zhuzh it up. That was their thing, and they made like pork belly bites to go with it, or egg, or whatever. But we used to fancy it up a little bit, like put an egg on top.
But real ramen.
Oh my god, it's so magnificent, isn't it?
Yes.
I was so excited
when
I went to
so good.
Japan. Oh yeah, it was awesome. And
yeah, that's another thing. You eat that, and how do they call this ramen?
It's the noodle bit, but not even.
Not even, exactly.
And Monday, April 5th, National Caramel Day, or caramel if you're here, but it's caramel.
I like it sometimes, but I don't like the caramel like candy things. I just don't like that, the hard caramel that you get with chocolate.
I want like runny caramel.
I like especially on ice cream with chocolate, so like a turtle.
Yes. Wow. I don't like artificial caramel flavor. Like you can get a caramel ice cream. It's like perfumey or something. I don't like that. But I like hot caramel. Actually, you know what a good one is? It's very simple. It is the McDonald's caramel sundae. That is so yummy.
Well, I always tell them to put chocolate on it too.
Oh, I've never thought of that.
Yes, because it's just such a great blend.
It's like
chocolate
turtle,
and
turtle sundae. Now there's going to be a rush on that because I might do that in about an hour.
So when you go to so anybody going to get a sundae at McDonald's, get a caramel and just could I get half and half caramel and chocolate?
Oh, very good.
It's like, and then they like, oh, you really want it? Yeah. Yes, please. Okay. It's like going to a place where they do the flavored coffees.
Yes.
And you tell me you want vanilla and cinnamon flavor.
Ooh.
So it's hard to get the cinnamon flavor here, but like back at Starbucks in America. And that is just works.
I think I've got vanilla and cinnamon in my cupboard. Yeah. Now, we also have
Deep Dish Pizza Day. So it's like Chicago or Detroit pizza or the Italian Sicilian pizza.
I was like, weren't you telling me about the pizza like on Easter? We were talking about recipes yesterday.
Oh, yes, the rustica.
Rustica, that's what. Tell us.
Yeah, so if you look for pizza rustica, okay, you find that there's no tomato sauce on it.
Right.
So it's a pie made with like cured meats inside of it and lots of cheese. Really rich. I remember as a kid, it's not a Sicilian thing, so we didn't have it in our household. So I think it's more from northern Italy, where they have more dairy farms and stuff. We used to go to Sbarro's, the original Sbarro's on 65th Street off of 17th Avenue in Brooklyn. Go in there, and they had it on the counter, and you go in there. You just went in there and got instantly hungry. Because all the little delicacies had, and the smell of the cheeses and everything was just intense.
Oh, that would be beautiful.
Yeah. So I got to find a recipe for that because I really want to make that. I'm missing that pizza rustica.
And you could just do that in a cast iron pan, couldn't you?
Yes. Yeah. But you got to find a true Italian cookbook. One that's been translated probably.
And you could get the manicotti recipe as well.
Manicotta.
Yes, sir. Yeah. But I'm not Italian.
Don't you watch The Sopranos?
I do watch The Sopranos. And okay, National Raisin and Spice Bar Day.
It sounds also very California.
It does. I was
California
just
raisins. Yeah.
I was going to say my cousin Frankie, she and her husband used to grow California
raisins. So is that where the
raisins.
California raisin? The guys used to sing, and they used to go to the Spice Bar.
Could be. That could be. We can check that out.
Yeah. It's strange thoughts of that. Okay. Tuesday, April the 6th, International
Carbonara Day.
Carbonara. That's another thing that I never had in my household.
Really?
Again, it's not Sicilian.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So,
but everybody, I understand from listening to like the talk shows and the TV shows with Italian chefs, the carbonara that they make in America or probably here is really a bogus recipe. It's not.
Yeah, because it's more like an Alfredo. So really, like Marco Pierre White, I saw him make it. Oh, plus I just have a thing for Marco Pierre White, but it's just egg yolk. It's just egg yolk and Parmesan and pepper. It's not like a cream. There's no cream in it.
No cream,
and people just sort of, I think, want it to look like an Alfredo.
And they make it, again, if I want to make something like that, which I do quite often, I just make pasta ricotta, less fat, tastes just as good.
Yeah.
Simple. Do it in 5 minutes. Okay. And we also have National Caramel Pop. We had caramel already before.
But this is caramel popcorn.
Shouldn't it go together with the other caramel?
Well, no, I suppose so. But what about the Chicago popcorn, which is cheddar and caramel together?
Yeah, that's a weird combination.
But it works.
It works.
It's that salty sweet thing.
Mm-hmm.
Would you remember, like, I don't know, maybe my part of California, maybe when you were there used to be like popcorn shops that would sell like tins of caramel popcorn or white chocolate truffle popcorn or all, you know.
You even see some here like that. I think at the Gdayall market they have a popcorn vendor. You know, that sells all the different popcorns.
Yeah, that was yummy. Yeah. My dentist, I'm sure, loved it.
Oh, you get all that little popcorn kernels in your teeth. I hate that.
And Tartan Day.
No, that's Scottish.
Tartan. That is Scottish.
Isn't that a dress thing?
Yeah, it's to sell. So the idea behind it that I can see is sort of celebrating Scottish food, but they called it like.
Well, they want to call it Haggis Day.
That might be a bit of a hard sell. So we've got shortbread, haggis,
whiskey,
dram of whiskey.
Yes.
I'm not sure what else, but yes, that is Tartan Day.
Okay, next week's show is PB&J.
The Phil and Jeanette Show.
Yeah. Thank you, Barbara.
Yes.
And we're going to sign off as we're a new little feature here until we run out of them. As saying goodbye, a signature American sign off from history.
Yes.
This week, John Cameron Swayze. Now, I always know him from the news, but he was also a game show host too in the 60s.
Did not know that. Well, because I was born in 69.
Name.
So.
Yeah, John Cameron Swayze.
Any relation to Patrick?
Probably, maybe his grandfather or something, But he also did a lot of ads.
Yes.
So we don't have an official log off from him.
But he used to, was it Timex?
Timex, yeah.
And what is the famous slogan for that?
Could you go? Takes a licking and keeps on ticking. This is John Cameron Swayze signing off.
We will see you later.
See you in September. No.
What?
I don't know. It just came out. Come on.
Once you find a love like mine, you know that love is true. Understand, I'm just a man with a pork fat baby back blues. Yeah, understand, I'm still your man with a pork fat baby back blues.